Golden State Media Concepts presents the GSMC Classics series, with episodes of some of your favorites from a day gone by, a time gone by. Join us as we time travel to some of your classic favorites from yesteryear. The GSMC Podcast Network invites you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the GSMC Classics series on the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century. And the shower of silver dollars from Popsicle Pete's Money Box. Buck Rogers, the amazing young fellow who was born right here in our own 20th century, but who was held in a state of suspended animation for 500 years. And now he's living in the highly mechanized and super-scientific world of the 25th century. In company with Lieutenant Wilma Deering, a girl soldier, and Dr. Huer, the greatest scientist who ever lived, his life is one thrilling adventure after another. Why, just recently they flew their rocket-powered spaceship to the far-off planet Jupiter to run down Killer Kane and Ardela, arch criminals of interplanetary space. But now they're back on Earth again. And our story opens in the weird and wonderful laboratory of Dr. Huer at Niagara, the capital of 25th century America. We find the old scientist alone, working feverishly over a mass of strange diagrams and complicated formulas that cover the top of his desk. Let's join him there. Here we go, 500 years into the future.
Heat output times the square of the lens radius times pi equals... I've got it.
Hello, Doctor.
Wilma, look. I've worked out the heat radiation formula for the mechanical mole.
Mechanical mole?
Here, let me at that subcosmic radio unit.
But what under the sun
Excuse me, Wilma. Calling Factory B18. Factory B18.
Factory B18,
Rankin, this is Dr. Huer.
Oh, yes, Doctor.
Set the radial heat controls exactly as I tell you.
Yes, sir.
Number 1 at 33 degrees, 4 minutes right. Number 2 at 7 degrees, 17 minutes right. Number 3 at 9 degrees, 9 minutes left.
Yes, sir.
Do it immediately. We'll take the mole on a test run just as soon as we can get over there.
Yes, sir.
Signing off.
Well, now, Doctor.
Where's Buck, Wilma?
Why, he's out making a trial flight in the new super rocket ship you developed just after we got back from Jupiter.
Oh.
But what is a mechanical mole?
Well, then wait. We'll want him in on the test run of the mechanical mole, too. Central Radio Bureau? Dr. Huer calling Central Radio Bureau.
Mechanical mole, did you say?
Central Radio Bureau, Stratton speaking.
Oh, Dr. Huer, Stratton. Do you know where I can reach Captain Buck Rogers?
Oh, he's making a test flight, Doctor, in the new interplanetary rocket.
Yes, I know. But where is he?
Well, last reported about 17 points west of the moon.
Oh.
Flying a course in the general direction of Saturn.
Well, then use a subcosmic power beam to contact him immediately. Ask him to join us at the spaceport just as soon as he can get back to Earth. Hangar number 4.
Oh, the experimental hangar.
That's right. And radio Sergeant Carlborg out there that we're coming. Tell him to have everything ready for us.
I'll call them both right away, sir.
Thank you. Signing off.
Signing.
Did you come over here in a rocket-powered air roadster, Wilma?
Well, yes, Doctor, I did.
Fine. We'll use it to fly out to the spaceport. Come along.
But I don't understand. All this talk about a mechanical mole and heat radiation formulae
Wilma, we're about to embark on the most amazing scientific venture we've ever attempted.
Oh, really?
Come along now. I'll tell you about it on the way over. Oh, good. Your rocket roadster is the enclosed model.
Yeah, it keeps my hair from getting blown all over the place.
But you're wearing a flying helmet.
Well, that's as good an excuse as any.
Here now. Get in.
Want me to take the controls?
If you like. All ready.
Then here we go. These little things certainly make a quick takeoff, don't they?
Well, don't spare the power. The sooner we get over there, the sooner we'll be able to start out in a mechanical mole.
Well, tell me about it. What is it? What's it for? What's it do?
Look, Wilma, for years we've devoted all our time and effort to exploring the vast reaches of outer space. Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, even far off Pluto.
Yes, and we've had some mighty interesting times on those planets.
Yes, but as a result of the fascination of interplanetary exploration, we have utterly neglected the very world we live on, Earth.
Yes, I guess so. But now, what has that got to do
A
with...
few elementary facts we do know. Seismographs, instruments that measure shocks and vibration in the Earth, have indicated that it has a central core some 4,000 miles in diameter, composed, in all probability, of the heavier elements like iron, nickel, platinum, and radium.
Only, of course, they're liquefied.
What?
Awfully hot in the center of the Earth, isn't it?
The temperature is probably in thousands of degrees.
Well, then, the elements you mentioned must be liquefied.
No. Although that temperature is far higher than that at which any known substances could be ordinarily used and remain solid, the enormous pressure is undoubtedly sufficient to keep it from melting.
Some pressure.
Well, normal atmospheric pressure, that which surrounds us all the time, is a little over 14 pounds to the square inch.
Yes, I know.
But the pressure at the core of the Earth is estimated at about 3 million atmospheres.
Good night. But now, Doctor...
Now, of course, we know that most of the Earth's land surface is covered with a layer of sedimentary rock. Particles of rock and sand that were spread about by water following the Ice Age, and then settled and stuck together.
Yeah?
Now, geologists agree that a widespread granitic layer extends well under all the continents. Other common minerals are shales and sandstone and basalt in such forms as dolerite and gabbro and ecrogite and pachyllite.
What and... Oh, now listen, Doctor. You're just trying to mix me all up and change the subject. I want to know about the mechanical mole.
Well, then watch your navigation and swing us round.
Huh?
Directly below us, there at the spaceport.
Oh. Great day, that thing?
Yes.
Why, it looks like a big, long metal sausage.
It's made of flexo-impervium, the toughest and most flexible metal known to us.
That huge lens at the end of it. And those little fins sticking out all over the sides.
A thermic radiation projector. A heat ray.
Oh.
And the fins shield a system of non-recoil energy projectors.
But what is it for? What does it do?
Well, what's the controls? We're heading straight down at it.
I'm sorry. It's such a strange-looking thing. And look at all the people gaping at it from that barrier that's strung around.
Well, land us there in the open space between it and the hangar.
Okay.
You see, there's Sergeant Carlborg waiting for us.
Yes, sir. I'm cutting the power. Now we'll coast down.
We're dropping pretty fast, Wilma.
Then I'll use some reverse power to land us without a bump. Now, let's get out so I can find out what this mechanical mole is all about.
Dr. Huer, sir.
Hello, Carlborg.
Hello there.
And Lieutenant Wilmer. Well, I might have known you'd be coming along on this experimental trip, miss.
Well, now I know that the mechanical mole is capable of making some kind of a trip anyway.
Been having quite a time keeping the crowds back of the fence, Doctor. They all want to have a look at her.
I thought you were going to keep it in the hangar, Carlborg. It's not the sort of machine that should be around where people can get at it or into it.
Oh, my men are keeping them all at a safe distance. You see, Mr. Rankin from the factory brought it out here to make some adjustments on it.
Oh, then he's already been here.
Yes, sir. Left just a minute ago.
Fine. That means we can start out in the mechanical mole without delay.
Well, what about Buck, Doctor?
Oh, of course. It's funny that he isn't here. I told him to come out and make himself at home in the mole whenever he... Carlborg.
Yes, sir?
We were expecting Captain Rogers to meet us here.
I haven't so hide or hair, Captain Rogers, Doctor, since the day you three took off for Jupiter, when you went after Killer Kane.
Well, I expect there's nothing we can do but wait for him. And while we're waiting, Wilma, I'll take you into the control room of this machine and explain to you how it works.
At last I'm going to find out what it's all about.
And Carlborg.
Yes, sir?
You better have your men clear a long path for us in the general direction of the city. We don't want the withering heat from the thermic radiation projector to hurt anyone when we start up.
Yes, sir. Do it right away, sir.
The rocket road's to be all right here next to the hangar?
Yes.
And come on, let's get into this big machine.
No, wait a minute. There's the radio call signal inside the hangar office.
Oh, let Carlborg take it.
He's moving the crowd back. Only take a second to answer it, maybe Buck. Here now.
Calling Buck Rogers. Center Radio Bureau calling Captain Buck Rogers. Calling Captain Buck Rogers.
Hello?
Urgent message for Captain Rogers from the office of the President of America.
Oh, well, Captain Rogers isn't here, but I am expecting him any minute.
Dr. Huer?
Yes?
This is Stratton speaking.
Oh, Stratton.
I'm sure it'll be all right for you to relay this message to the captain, sir. Besides, you ought to know about it.
What is it?
Well, it reads as follows. Killer Kane and Ardela have escaped.
What?
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Then tell the President we'll drop everything to get on their trail immediately.
No, wait, sir. You'd better hear the rest of this.
Well, all right, go ahead.
Killer Kane and Ardela have escaped from the emergency prison where they were placed to await transfer to the city prison.
Yes.
A clever trick made it possible for them to get a 24-hour start in the rocket plane you used for the Jupiter expedition.
The fastest ship in the universe.
Entire Space Patrol fleet has been unable to pick up that ship's rocket trail. Apparently, there's nothing we can do but wait until the two criminals show up again. Urge, however, that you keep constantly on guard against Kane and Ardela's reappearance. End of message.
All right, Stratton. Thank you.
Doctor, what can we do?
Nothing, Wilma, except what the president suggests. Wait for them to show up again.
I know, Doctor, but do you suppose they really did leave Earth in that ship of ours?
Why, what do you mean?
They might have just sent it flying alone by the automatic controls as a trick.
Possibly. To throw us off that trail.
Crowds all move back, Doctor, and you can... Say, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Come along, Wilma. We'll board the mechanical mole.
Yes, sir.
Right this way. Crowd's mighty anxious to see that big machine get started, Doctor.
Are they?
Yes, sir. You'll catch it. Hey, look. Look, it's moving.
You're right. And the heat ray of the nose of it, it's starting to glow.
Doctor, Killer Kane and Ardela.
You're right. And with that heat ray, the lives of all these people out here are in danger.
And Kane and Ardela won't hesitate to use it.
It's moving over toward the crowd of people right now. Come on, we've got to stop it.
Stop it? How?
Then what can we do?
Get those people away from here. Come on, get them away.
Great day, the terrible destruction that could be done with the gigantic heat ray in the nose of that mechanical mole is too appalling to even think about.
Now let's get back to the world of the future. Back to the municipal spaceport at Niagara, capital of 25th century America, where a terror-stricken crowd is watching a gigantic machine called the mechanical mole move sluggishly across the landing field. In the front of it, a thermic radiation projector, a gigantic heat ray, begins to glow ominously. Here we go, 500 years into the future.
See, Doctor? The mechanical mole is moving over toward the edge of the crowd.
We've got to stop it, Doctor, before it runs over those people.
Stop that? Impossible.
The heat ray is beginning to glow. It's Kane and Ardela, all right.
They won't stop at nothing, Doctor. Look!
Oh, that's slithering. You'll burn those people in that track. Somehow we've got to keep it from reaching them.
No, look. The heat ray is off now.
And the mole is started back towards the middle of the field.
Killer Kane and Ardela at the controls. It won't stay away from that crowd for long. If only Buck were here.
Yes, sir. Captain Rogers would find a way to stop that thing.
Wait. Carbog.
Yes, sir.
Come with me quick. Back to the main rocket ship hangar.
What for, Doctor?
Oh, don't waste time talking. Come along.
Yes, sir.
Wilma.
Yes?
Get to the radio unit in this hangar. Call for the rocket control fleet. Have them assemble at 1,000 feet directly above this field.
Yes, sir, right away.
Look. The mole is just going around in a circle out there.
Yes, but it may not do it for long. You've got a Y-12 space fighter in this main hangar, haven't you?
3 or 4 of them. But the RF-13s carry bigger disintegrators.
No, I want the Y-12 for its black ray.
Black ray?
Yes. We'll climb up above it and cover that mechanical mole with utter darkness.
Yes.
Then the men in the space fleet can hold it in position with non-recoil energy projectors.
Then what?
Here. Now, here's the hangar. Pull the switch to open the big sliding doors so we can get the ship out.
It's right over here, Doctor.
That's it. And here's the Y-12 just waiting for us.
Here, Doctor. I'll open that metal door for you.
I've got it. Get in, quick.
Yes, sir. Only I wonder if Kane and Ardela have started a mechanical mole charging at the people again.
Carbog, get in here.
Yes, sir.
Now, here we go. And I hope some of the space fleet is on its way over.
Wow! We almost smashed into the top of the hangar door. Hey, but look.
Yes, I see. The mole is standing still down there.
Yes, sir. The people are starting to move closer to it again.
Oh, we've got to stop that. I'll call Wilma down there at the other hangar.
It's no use, Doctor. She's down there on the field again. Too far away to hear the call.
Well, then perhaps she'll tell your men to keep that crowd back.
Oh, wait. Here they come, sir.
What?
The rocket fleet.
Oh, good. Rocket fleet attention. Rocket fleet attention.
Captain Wilson speaking, Dr. Ewer. Rocket fleet standing by.
Yes, sir. They're in a big circle right above us. Must be 8 or 10 of them ships.
Good. Wilson, I want you to keep the circle you formed directly above the big machine you see down there on the flying field.
Aye, sir.
I'm going to shoot down a black ray to envelop that machine in darkness. And I want your ships to send down paralysis rays on with full power behind them. I'll give you the order.
Must be Kane and Ardela in the mechanical mole.
Oh, then you know about their escape?
Yes, sir. The rest of the rocket fleet is out in space trying to pick up their trail.
The reason your ships will have to use all available power behind the paralysis rays is because the mole has an elasto-impervium hull.
Will the rays penetrate that at all?
Only a tremendous concentration of them. Even then, they may take some time to penetrate. That's why I'll cover the mole with a black ray to discourage its moving around.
We're all ready, Dr. Ure. My pilot's been in contact with the other ships on a separate wavelength.
Good. Here goes the black ray. Turn it on, Carbog.
Right, sir.
Careful.
Huh?
Careful. There's Wilma down there. It might blind her. Stumble into the path of the mechanical mole.
No. Look. Now she's running over toward the hangar.
Perhaps away from the mole.
It's not moving out of the black ray, but she's certainly in a hurry.
Never mind that now. Wilson. Hello, Wilson.
Standing by for orders, Doctor.
Have you got full power behind the paralysis rays?
Yes, sir.
Then have the men in your ship turn them on.
Right, sir. Order for all ships.
It may take a few minutes, Carbog, but the high concentration of those rays is bound to get through that hull down there enough to be effective.
I should think so. Coming from the wall, them patrol ships.
Now, cut off the black ray a moment so we can see the mole again. And let the fleet men check on their aim with the paralysis rays.
Now?
Now.
Hey, look.
Yes, I see. Kane and Adela found out how to make the mechanical mole drill its way down into the earth.
By using the heat ray on the front of it.
Yes. They'll get out of range of the fleet's paralysis rays.
Underground.
Exactly. There's only one thing to do. Captain Wilson. Calling Captain
I
Wilson.
see, Doctor. It's going into the ground. Our paralysis rays won't be able to
Wilson,
affect...
have your ships drop down to 100 feet in their present circle formation.
Yes?
Instead of paralysis rays, they're to use force rays, non-recoil energy projectors. That will keep the mole from moving any further.
Even down there under the ground?
Even under the ground. Do it now.
Right, sir.
And what about us, Doctor?
We'll cover it with our heat ray.
It'll break them in there.
No, the hull of the mole is too well insulated against heat. But it'll melt the ground around it.
I see. Then you let the ground re-harden around it.
Exactly, that's right. They'll be locked tightly in a huge area of solidified rock. Here goes the heat ray.
Doing it. The crowd's melting away. There's a regular pool of it, with a mole right in the middle.
Exactly. And now, in a minute or two, it'll harden. We trapped them, Carbog.
The patrol fleet is holding them right there to the force rays.
They won't need it for long. See all that steam?
Yes.
An underground stream that'll cool the ground and harden it quickly.
Then they're trapped all right. But how are we ever going to get Kane or Adela out of there?
We'll think of that later. The main thing now is that we have them.
Dr. Ure, calling Dr. Ure.
Oh, that's why she was running to the hangar to call you.
Calling Dr. Ure.
Yes, Wilma.
The mole, the mechanical mole.
Completely trapped, Wilma, in solid rock.
But Buck is in it, Doctor. Helpless. He'll suffocate.
But even the mechanical mole...
Yes, sir. He got there before we did. Climbed into the mole with Captain Rankin, while Carbog was taking a radio call in the hangar.
No wonder I didn't see him.
Then we thought it was Kane and Adela.
He's trying desperately to contact you by radio because he heard your orders to the space fleet.
Well, then why didn't I hear him?
The receiver on this ship is tuned to the general utility channel.
Oh, and the mole's on ultra-short wave.
You've got to help him now, quick. He's suffocating.
Suffocating?
Talk to him, Doctor, and do something to get him out of there.
All right.
Here, I'll adjust this receiver and pick up the mole now.
Thank you. Buck. Hello, Buck.
Hi, Doctor. Get me out of here, will you?
Yes.
When that black ray hit down this way, I banged into the control board, wrecked the air conditioning controls and all the light controls, too. Now, there's not much air left in this small control cabin, so if you can...
Buck, turn on the thermic radiation projector in the nose of the mole. That'll let you melt your way back to the surface.
I don't dare try it.
Why?
I can't see a thing in this darkness, and I might wreck the whole works and me with it.
Well, then listen, Buck. Buck.
Yes, sir?
The inertron control. The inertron lifting unit.
I don't know where it is.
The lever is under the left side of your control seat. Lift it upward.
It's right.
Doctor, what good will that do? Doctor, sure, he can't last much longer.
Now, Buck.
Doctor!
Buck Rogers.
No air, Doctor. It's got him.
Dr. Huey, he'll die down there.
Wait, Wilma, wait.
What are you going to do?
I don't know
You've
yet.
got to get him out of there.
Wait. Wilson. Captain Wilson.
Yes, sir. I've heard it all.
We've got to melt that ground again.
Right.
When we melt that ground, you push the mole out with our force ray. Carbog, take the ship control.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Hewitt, can't you do
Right
something?
away, Wilma.
But you may be too late. Don't you understand? Buck is suffocating down
Full
there.
power, Carbog. Straight down there. I'll work the force ray.
Right, sir. Full power.
That's it. Now the force ray. The ground's coming again. We're pushing them all back up to the surface.
I'll bring us right down beside us.
Yes, the ground's now.
Now. Here we go. found it, sir.
Now, quick. That crowbar there on the wall.
Crowbar?
Oh, all right. I have it. Now, here. This metal door.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We pushed them all right back on top of solid ground again. Pretty hot around here, too.
Oh, never mind that. Help me pry open the door of the mechanical mold.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, the officer's way outside. Can you save him?
Help us. Quick.
But I will.
Now, pull.
He's open.
Buck! Buck, are you all right?
Hey, keep that crowd back.
Buck!
Hi, folks.
Water. Get some water. Get a healing ray.
Bob, there's a healing ray in the hangar number 3.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Oh, Buck. I never thought we'd get you out of there alive.
I'm all right.
Oh, thank you.
Just needed some air. A little fresh air.
Oh, Buck. I was afraid that...
Well, Doctor?
Yes, Buck.
He works. When do we start for the center of the Earth? Say, a trip to the center of the Earth in that mechanical mole ought to provide thrills galore. Be sure to listen to the next episode.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century. And the shower of silver dollars from Popsicle Pete's money box. Buck Rogers, who was held in suspended animation for 500 years, and is now adventuring in the amazing world of the 25th century. By turning a little dial to project us ahead in time, we're able to be right with Buck and his friends in the wonderful world of the future. A world that sees a lot of our scientific and mechanical dreams come true. And you know, there's nothing supernatural or mystic about Buck. He's just an ordinary, normal human being who keeps his wits about him. But he certainly manages to get into one thrilling adventure after another. Right now, he and Wilma and Dr. Hewer are getting ready to start on an expedition toward the center of the Earth in a huge machine called the Mechanical Mole. They're standing beside it on the landing field of the great municipal spaceport in Niagara, capital of 25th century America. Well, let's join them. Here we go, 500 years into the future.
Oh, what's holding us up, Dr. Hewer? I thought we were going to get started on our trip underground just as soon as we got out here.
Sergeant Karlborg is bringing some weapons and scientific equipment over from the main rocket ship hangar.
Weapons?
Yes, Doctor. What possible use for weapons can we have deep under the earth?
Well, you never can tell. We've got to be prepared for everything. Karlborg is also bringing instruments that will enable us to analyze whatever sort of ground we run into down there. Also a gas analyzer.
What's that for?
I shouldn't be at all surprised if we'd run into some great open spaces miles below. Gas or air pockets.
And gas pockets, anyway. Sources for the natural gas we use here on the surface.
Exactly.
I see. But now explain this machine to me, will you? All I can tell from seeing it here is that it looks like a huge metal sausage.
Well, it's made of flexo-impervium, Wilma, the toughest flexible metal known.
But how does it work? How does it dig its way into the ground?
It melts its way down, Wilma, with the help of a thermic radiation projector. The heat from it will liquefy anything in its path. Rocks, stones, gravel, almost instantaneously.
Some heat.
Yes. The banks of non-recoil energy projectors that are spaced all around the outside of the hull will push the mold forward through the melted ground.
Will we be able to see anything through the big metallo-glass windows there in front?
Oh, yes, indeed.
And are they really thick enough?
Well, there won't be much strain on them, Wilma, because the force rays will keep pushing the melted dirt away from them all the time.
Oh. Well, now how about getting into the control cabin so I can see how to operate it?
All right. Notice that this metal door arrangement is rather complicated in order to permit entrance through 3 separate hulls. Here now. There.
Why 3 hulls, Doctor?
For protection against the extreme temperatures we may encounter.
Right. Doctor, didn't you say that the temperature will increase about 1 degree for every 53 feet we go down?
Yes, that's the generally accepted figure.
Uh-huh.
One of the many things we'll be able to check on.
There isn't much room in this control cabin. Seems to me that in a machine 50 or 60 feet long...
Power units for the non-recoil energy projectors and thermic radiation projector.
Huh?
Complete air conditioning and pressure equalizing system. Storage cabinets for all the scientific equipment. They all take a lot of room, Wilma.
Oh, sure. But now, why these straps on the control seats?
To enable us to stay in them regardless of the angle at which we're ascending or descending.
And pressure suits. What do we ever use these for?
Exploring any open spaces there may be down below.
Note the instrument panel here, Wilma.
Uh-huh.
Pressure gauge, depth gauge, temperature,
Dr.
side
Ewell, Captain Rogers.
Yes?
Got the other equipment, Carlborg?
Yes, sir. Right here, sir.
Oh, good.
Listen.
What's the matter?
A spy. My men just caught a spy over there by the main hangar.
What's this?
He has a telemagnetic recorder.
You mean one of those cameras for recording pictures on a sensitized wire?
Yes, sir.
Well, who is he? What's he look like?
Well, he looks just like a perfectly respectable Martian tourist, Captain.
A Martian?
But he wouldn't say why he was so anxious to take pictures, so I had the boys hold on to him.
Why, that old rascal Black Barney.
Barney? What's he got to do with it?
Oh, didn't you tell her about that, Buck?
No, I guess it slipped my mind.
Well, then tell me now.
Well, Dr. Hewer first got to thinking about this mechanical mole up on Jupiter, where Barney helped us capture Cain and Ardela.
Yeah?
And he told Barney about his plan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know Black Barney.
Sure. He decided he'd have to build one, too.
Right. Told Dr. Hewer that the minute he got back to Mars, he'd begin construction of it. Provided Dr. Hewer would tell him how to get started with it.
No, I just joshed him a little, Wilma, and told him that if he wanted to know how I was going to build the mole, he'd have to find out for himself. And that I'd do everything possible to keep him from finding out.
And then he sent the man with the camera.
Sure, and he isn't the first spy who's been around.
Well, I wonder if Barney's making any progress with his mechanical mole.
Oh, apparently, yes. Our president attended a meeting of the Council on Interplanetary Affairs there on Mars not long ago, and Barney said he was not only building the biggest and most powerful mole in the universe, but that he'd have it in operation before we'd finish with this.
Good old Barney. Leave it to him.
Yes.
Well, then, I guess this spy ain't as serious as I thought.
Look, I'll tell you what you do, Carlborg.
Yes, Captain.
Do you still have that little dog of yours, the one you call Tag-Along?
I sure do, Captain. Why, he's the finest mixed-breed thoroughbred.
Well, where is this Martian's camera?
Why, right in my office at the main rocket ship hangar.
Well, then, you get hold of your dog and expose the whole reel of sensitized wire in the camera on Tag-Along digging holes in the ground.
You mean it, sir?
Yep. Then send the man and his camera back to Mars.
Okay, Captain, whatever you say.
If Barney wants pictures of a mechanical mole, we'll see that he gets them.
That's terrific.
Well, now, let's close this metal door. These metal doors and get underway.
All right. Sergeant, we'll be in touch with you by radio from time to time. And please radio the president's office that we've started.
Yes, sir, Doctor. And be careful way down there, will you, please?
Careful?
Yes, sir. You folks are starting out in this contraption just as calm as if you were flying a rocket ship out into space.
Well.
But I'd be sort of scared.
Oh, what's there to be scared about, Carlborg?
I don't know, but be careful anyways, will you, please?
Yes, we will. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Carlborg.
Bye, Carlborg. Now, to travel on the surface, of course, we just use the power of the non-recoil energy projectors, like this.
Say, we're moving right along.
Yes, sir. There's plenty of power in this thing.
Well, we'll need it when we start going down into the ground. Suppose I turn on the thermic radiation projector and head us down at about a 20-degree angle.
Okay by me.
Me too.
Well, then here we go.
Boy, that heat ray really does a job.
Just say so.
Turns the ground into a boiling liquid.
I'll bet the heat from it can be felt for hundreds of feet around.
What?
I bet the heat from it can be felt for hundreds of feet around.
What did you say?
I said it's hot out there. Oh.
Lady, you certainly have a powerful pair. Hey, wait, Doctor.
I just cut off the power box. And you see this gauge? We're down over 100 feet.
What's that noise?
Sounds like steam blowing off. Something wrong in the power compartment?
No, Wilma. We've run into a stratum of water sand, that's all.
Oh.
The heat rays turn the water into steam.
No telling what we may run into down here, is there?
No.
Really kind of risky, isn't it?
Rather go back and let Dr. Hewer and me finish the trip?
Not on your life.
Well, here we go again. Now, somewhere down here, according to soundings taken on the surface...
Yeah?
There's a deep... Look through the metalloglass window.
Yes, Doctor?
The color of the melted stuff out there indicates we're right in the middle of it now.
In the middle of what, sir?
A deep layer of solid granite.
We're going through solid granite.
That's right, Wilma. And with no effort at all.
No, sir, Doctor.
What?
According to this gauge here, we're stopped.
Stop?
Yes, sir. We haven't moved for the last 10 or 15 seconds.
Now, wait a minute.
Don't you see, Doctor?
Oh, you're right, Buck. We didn't move an inch.
Then back us out, Doctor. Back us up to the surface again.
I can't, Wilma. This machine can't move backwards.
What?
But I don't understand why a little granite should hold us this way.
When we turned off the heat ray, Doctor, it solidified around our hull.
Yes, you're right.
Well, can we get free again?
Give that heat ray all she'll take, Doctor.
Yes.
more heat. We haven't begun to move yet.
There now. It's on full.
Direct the heat back alongside our hull.
Yes, Buck. There now.
We're still not moving.
There we are. Now we're moving again.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
You see, it was necessary to melt down all the granite that had solidified around our hull.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen again. I don't mind telling you I was worried for a minute then.
Well, we're moving along now, all right. Really making time.
Yes. I doubt, Wilma, if we'll run into any strait as hard as that again.
Oh, I hope not. How far down are we now?
Must be several hundred feet, Wilma.
Yes, sir, because we're certainly traveling. Ground down here must be sort of loosely put together.
Perhaps we're in an air pocket of some sort. The depth gauge
Say,
says...
look.
Yes?
The heat ray usually shows red out there. Now there are a lot of little bluish puffs of flame.
Buck's right. They shoot out like long blue ribbons. Air pocket, did you say?
Oh, sir, we're running into a gas pocket.
Gas.
Why, yes.
But what if it all catches fire?
Yes, sir, if there's oxygen present down
The
here.
heat ray will be like a match inside a big gas tank.
You're right.
Look, blue flames all around us.
Gas pocket's going to explode.
Good heavens.
Look!
Here it comes.
Say, that sounds pretty bad. The heat from the thermic radiation projectors made that gas pocket they ran into explode. They're deep, deep underground, beyond the reach of help.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
And the shower of silver dollars from Popsicle Pete's money box. Now let's get back to the world of the future. When Buck, Wilma, and Dr. Hewer started on their expedition underground in the mechanical mole, Sergeant Karlborg, following orders and having no idea what might happen down there, went back to the main rocket ship hangar to contact the president's office by radio. It's there that we find him now as we turn the dial that'll project us ahead in time. Here we go, 500 years into the future.
Central Radio Bureau. Sergeant Karlberg calling Central Radio Bureau.
Central Radio Bureau, Stratton speaking.
Listen, Stratton. I've got to get an important message through to the office of the president.
Yes?
Captain Rogers and Lieutenant Wilma and Dr. Hewer have just took off on their expedition under the ground in the mechanical mole. Ain't that something?
Yes, it certainly is. Did it sort of sudden, didn't they?
Well, they didn't want a lot of people around who might have gotten burned by the big heat ray in the nose of that machine.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll get that message.
And you know, they took off in that big machine just as calm and collected as if it was nothing at all.
Well, that's the way those folks are. I better get that message.
Oh!
Hey, what was that?
I don't know. It knocked me right off my chair onto the floor. Some incoming rocket ship must have banged into the side of this hangar.
What? Oh, there it goes again.
I'll go out and see what it is. I'll call you back and tell you...
No, wait a minute.
But maybe a ship was cracked up out there.
But if that's all it was, why should I feel it over here? I'm miles away from that spaceport of yours.
You mean you felt it too?
Well, like an earthquake. This whole building shook.
No. Listen. Stratton.
Yeah? What's the matter? Municipal spaceport? Calling municipal spaceport. Karlborg!
Municipal spaceport. Yeah, Karlborg.
Central Scientific Bureau speaking. Our seismographs have just registered a tremendous subterranean explosion.
I knew it.
Approximately 2 miles under the surface of your main landing field. Hello?
Captain Rogers.
Hello?
Calling Captain
Scientific
Rogers in the
Bureau?
mechanical mole.
Hello,
Calling
Karlborg.
Captain Rogers.
Karlborg.
Dr. Hewer.
Hello, Scientific Bureau.
Listen,
Hello?
Rogers.
This is Stratton, the Central Radio Bureau.
Answer me, will
Yes?
you?
Dr. Hewer's mechanical mole is down there. What? The mechanical mole? Something must have happened to it. Good heavens. Is there any way of contacting it down there? Is it radio equipped? Oh, Karlborg's trying to get them now. Can you hear him? Karlborg. Sergeant Karlborg.
Talk to me so I can see what's happening. They're down there under the ground, and the mechanical mole is blown up with them inside of it.
Karlborg, did they take a straight course down into the ground?
I don't know what they did. It's too late to save them now. They're killed. This is horrible. This is horrible. I shouldn't have ever let them go down there. An awful machine. It's a death machine. That's what it is.
Yes, sir. There's only one way to reach that mechanical mole or what's left of it. with a long-range disintegrator. Disintegrator? Yes, by blasting away a long shaft straight into the ground. But the sides of a shaft that deep will cave in. Call out the Rocket Fleet Emergency Squad. Have them circle the area we're going to disintegrate in order to hold back the sides of it with long-range, non-recoil energy projectors. Okay. I'll take care of notifying the President's office of what's happened from here. Yes, sir. Now go to it. No, wait. Yes? Order an interplanetary transport ship made ready and equipped with the most powerful gravity ray available. To pull them all up to the surface when you got a shaft down to it, eh? That's right. Now, get going. Right, sir. Karlborg.
Yeah,
Sergeant
Karlborg speaking.
Have
Yes,
your ground crew erect standard framework number 3X5 directly above the spot where the mechanical mole descended immediately.
Oh, what's the use of that? That's a disintegrator framework.
The only possible chance we have of reaching the people trapped in that machine down there is by disintegrating our way down to them.
It's too late.
What?
It exploded within minutes. It's too late.
Do as I tell you. The sooner we can get that giant disintegrator going, the better our chance of saving them.
Saving them. It's too late. I tell you, they're lost. They're lost down there. It's too late. All right, now. Turn that disintegrator off.
Cut disintegrator!
No use, Major. As fast as you disintegrate out that hole, it fills in from the side.
Karlborg is right, Major. We've got less than half a mile down, and yet the force rays from the rocket fleet up above fail to keep the sides of that hole from falling in.
And that mechanical mole is 2 miles down. The Science Bureau said so.
But we've got to get down to that mole somehow. They may still be alive in it.
We can only wall up the sides of that hole as it goes down.
Take too long. Now listen.
Yes, sir?
A corpuscular repeller ray. It exerts a constant repelling force in all directions. By aiming it into the hole as we disintegrate our way down...
Yes. Dr. Ewer has one of them things in his private laboratory.
Good. Maybe the very thing that'll save his life.
Well, I'll order it brought over here to the field right away.
Let's save his life.
What's that?
Oh, it's too late. It's too late to save him.
Have you tried to contact them again by radio, Karlborg?
Sure, I keep trying all the time, but what good is it? They're goners down there.
Stop blabbering about it being too late and stand by that radio unit.
Corpuscular repeller ray is on the way over here, Major.
Good. Then order the disintegrator to blast away again. Our only chance to reach that mechanical mole lies in the disintegrator.
Disintegrator, full blast!
Disintegrator, full blast!
Corpuscular repeller ray is on the way over here, Major. Good. Then order the disintegrator to blast away again.
Disintegrator.
Our only chance to reach that mechanical mole lies in the disintegrator. Disintegrator, full blast! Disintegrator, full blast!
Disintegrator.
What did you say, Buck?
Full blast.
And keep
Wait a
it going,
minute.
full
Where are
blast.
we?
Where are we?
Buck, what's happened? I hear strange noises.
Huh?
The repeller ray in
Listen to
action.
me,
We can
Buck.
hold back the side.
Dr. Hewer,
Gas pocket. Explosion.
but we're still in the mechanical mole.
Now, wait a minute.
We can't
What's
save
wrong here?
Thank goodness you've come to.
Come to. Look.
Now get that ray into position.
They're all piled up on the control board. They're upside down.
Dr. Hewer, are you all right?
Sure. I'm all. We're still traveling. We're traveling straight downward. Cut off the power, Buck. If you can. Right. Right, sir. Great day. Explosion in that gas pocket must have knocked us all out.
But the power stayed on and the mole has kept digging its way down.
Right over the spot we
Apparently,
blasted away.
all right then.
That's it.
The explosion
Now
didn't
turn
wreck
on the
the machine.
disintegrator. Right, sir.
Thank goodness for that. Listen. What's that sound?
It's coming through the radio unit. Sounds like a disintegrator. Seems to me I heard voices, too. A lot of funny voices buzzing around in my head.
Me too. No wonder after the shock of that explosion.
Well, thank heaven they're all in one piece again.
Cut disintegrator.
Listen,
Cut disintegrator.
Those are real voices. They're what we've been hearing. And they've been coming through the radio unit, too.
It's no use.
Listen.
There's nothing we can do to keep the sides of this shaft we're blasting away from caving in.
Shafts are blasting away.
What's Major? They're still down there, trapped in that mechanical mole by the explosion.
And heaven only knows how we'll be able to reach.
wait a minute. Don't you see?
Doctor, the explosion was felt up on the surface. They probably tried to contact us. That's why their radio transmitter's on up there. So, of course, we hear them.
Oh, of course.
Being out cold, we couldn't answer. So now, in order to rescue us, they're trying to disintegrate a shaft down here.
Oh, shoot.
That voice is Major Stanton. We'd better contact him.
By all means, Doc. Right away.
Yes, sir. Calling Major Stanton. Calling Major Stanton.
Listen, the radio. That's on the mechanical mole wavelength.
Hey, Major Stanton.
Impossible. Hello?
Hello, Major. This is Buck Rogers.
What?
Hey, hello up there.
Captain Rogers. I told you they were all right down there. Captain Rogers, where are you? What happened?
Well, we ran into a gas pocket, Major, and the blame thing sort of blew up on us.
Oh, thank heaven you're all right again. Or are you?
Well, a little shook up, that's all.
It doesn't seem possible, Captain. That explosion fairly rocked the whole city.
Yeah, it kind of banged things around down here, too. You see, when we came to a minute ago, we found the mechanical mole was still plowing its way downward. But we've cut off the power now.
Oh, then it's still in working order.
Yeah?
Word that you're all right has got to all the people up here, Captain. They're cheering and yelling all over the landing field. And many are on their knees offering thanks.
Well, tell them we're all okay and that everything's all right.
I will. But now, is there anything we can do to help you return safely to the surface? How far down are you?
Well, I don't know. You see, most of the instruments here on the control board are smashed. And at the rate we were going, there's no telling how far downward we've traveled since that explosion.
I see. But, of course, you're returning to the surface now, so
Returning to the surface?
Yes, of course.
Well, not a bit of it. We're just getting started on this underground exploring expedition.
But good heavens, Captain
Isn't
Rogers.
that right, Wilma?
Sure.
Dr. Hewer?
Absolutely.
Sure, Major. But don't worry. We'll keep in touch with you by radio. And if anything exciting happens, we'll let you know.
Amazing.
If anything exciting happens. Huh. Well, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't miss the next episode for anything.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
And the shower of silver dollars from Popsicle Pete's Money Box. Buck Rogers in the 25th century, with its prophecy of all the wonderful things that may occur 500 years from now. Do you ever give any really serious thought to the scientific and mechanical developments of the future? Well, just keep listening to Buck Rogers and you'll have a pretty good idea of many of the things that are within the realm of scientific possibility. Now, our story so far has taken Buck and Wilma and Dr. Hewer to the city of Ore, deep, deep under the earth, a city abounding in pure gold and radium. And as we join our friends now, we find them all ready to start back to the surface, to report their amazing discovery to the government at Niagara, capital of 25th century America. Now, here we go, 500 years into the future.
Well, folks, how about getting started on the trip home?
Right, Wilma. The sooner we get started, the better. Come on, Dr. Hewer. Let's pile into the mechanical mole.
No, wait, Buck. Gareth is bringing samples of gold and radium to take back with us.
Yes, Doctor. I don't know what's detaining him. Incidentally, my friend.
Yes, Norbert.
This mechanical mole is a very wonderful machine. Just how does it burrow its way through the ground, Dr. Hewer?
Norbert, the giant heat ray in the nose melts away the ground, and the force rays along the sides push it ahead.
Very ingenious.
Say, look at the hundreds of people gathered at the other end of this great cavern.
Why, yes.
Evidently working like Trojans over something or other.
Oh, you're right. Too far away, though, to see what they're doing.
Look, here comes our friend Gareth. Apparently alarmed about something.
Well, I hope nothing's wrong.
No, but don't let our friends leave us.
Something is wrong.
Gareth, what is it?
Buck, Lieutenant Wilma, Dr. Hewer.
What's the trouble?
Please, kind people, stay and help us. Norbert, to the supply source.
Supply source.
What is it, Gareth?
A terrible catastrophe has occurred.
What?
Our entire city may be swept away unless you can help us.
What?
The warning came to me while I was obtaining samples of our gold and radium for you to take back with you.
Warning of what, Gareth?
It is something we have feared for a long time, and although we tried to make adequate provisions against the day it might occur, I fear for the safety of my people.
Well, now, wait a minute.
See them there at the end of the cavern. They're struggling against forces the power of which they cannot comprehend. The life of every one of them is in danger, but still they try to hold it back.
Hold what back, Gareth?
The waters, Doctor.
Waters?
Unless the source of our limitless water supply can be stopped up, the entire city of Ore will be flooded.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Here, hop into this mechanical mole. We'll go over and see what it's all about.
But can you help us? Can you keep the angry waters from filling up this great cavern in which we live?
Well, that remains to be seen, Gareth.
Right. Get into the mall now.
No.
Huh?
You'll be protected from the flood in this wonderful machine of yours. I can't be. I mustn't leave my people.
Gareth.
Don't you see, Buck?
Gareth.
Yes?
Now, you're all excited. Calm down and get in here so I can close the metal door.
But don't you see...
Quickly. If we're going to be of help to you, we can't waste time.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's better. Here now.
Sit right here in this control seat.
Thank you.
On the way over, you can tell us what's caused this unexpected trouble.
Here we go.
Oh, I hope we can get there in time to save our city.
Well, now tell us all you can about it, so we'll know what needs to be done when we get there.
Yes, Dr. Hewer. You must pardon me for being so upset, but news of the impending calamity has shaken me beyond words.
Yes, well...
Our water supply comes by seepage through a wall of porous rock, there at the end of the cavern.
Yes.
Any excess was always taken care of by simply allowing it to run down into the ant country through the tunnel system you followed to come here.
But now?
Now, however, the outlet tunnel has become stopped up. The water is no longer draining away.
Well, you know why, don't you? When we follow those tunnels, we use the heat ray on this mold. And then the melted ground settled back and solidified and blocked the tunnels after we passed through.
Oh, why did you do that, Buck? Why did you block up the only outlet for the water that can so easily fill up this entire cavern?
Oh, we didn't know it was part of your drainage system, Gareth.
Oh, no, of course you didn't. I'm very sorry. But now look ahead.
Yes?
How ineffectually my poor people are attempting to block up the source of the flood.
Now, Gareth, why, I'm surprised at you.
Why do you say that, Doctor?
Well, why, there isn't much water seeping through that rock formation. Well, why all this excitement?
It's so much more than usual.
And the channels that carry the water down the streets and into your reservoirs, they're far from overflowing.
But they will overflow, and we can't afford to let the water collect in this cavern.
Well, what's the matter, Buck?
See how the mist around here is clouding up the outside of our metallo-glass window?
Yes, Buck. That in itself illustrates the grave danger we're in.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, unless the water is permitted to run freely away and down into the ground, the heat that permeates our atmosphere turns it into a heavy mist.
Yeah?
Soon the air will become saturated with moisture. It will disable our atomic power plants and render our radium lighting system useless.
Oh, I see.
Worst of all, it will reach our chemical supplies and liberate deadly gases.
Oh.
Helpless and in total darkness, we'll be able to do nothing but wait for the poison to completely fill our city.
But that would take days, Gareth. Weeks, perhaps. Why so excited and scared about it all of a sudden?
It is the one thing against which we have never been able to provide adequate protection.
Oh, I see.
Oh, but please, while we talk, the atmosphere becomes heavier and heavier with the dreadful moisture. The efforts of my people to stop the water seepage becomes more and more fruitless. Don't you see? Even now, some of them falter and drop down where they're standing.
I can't see very well because of the wetness on these metallo-glass... Gareth.
Yes, Buck.
Can it be the poison gas you mentioned that is making those people drop in their tracks out there?
Yes, Buck. Please do something to help them.
Yes, we must act immediately.
What can we do?
Open the door and let me out again. If my people suffer, I must suffer with them.
No. Watch.
What are you going to do, Buck?
Turn on the non-recoil energy projector and aim it straight at the water rocks.
Wait, then.
Yes, sir?
There'll be people in the way. If you turn on the non-recoil energy, you crush them against those rocks.
Well, Gareth can warn them to get out of the way.
Yes.
Or better still, I can use just a little of the non-recoil energy and push them out of harm's way.
We'll do both. Gareth, you go out there and tell them to get away from that rock formation.
If they're still able to do so. Do you see? Most of them have fallen.
Phew, I should think they would.
Poison gas is right.
And we thought there was no need to hurry.
I'm going to warn my people.
But the gas will get you, too, Gareth.
No matter. If my people fall, I fall.
Gareth, come back.
Close the door, Doctor, quick.
Oh.
Yes, Wilma.
No, don't do it, Doctor.
What?
If you don't, that gas will get us, too.
But...
It's the only way I can see to aim this non-recoil energy projector. This window's too clouded up.
But, Buck...
Here it goes.
That's it. But are you sure you're aiming it straight at the rock formation?
Yes, sir. It clears its own path through the mist.
Then can't you close the doors again? This gas is terrible.
Yeah, we can now. Now, Wilma.
Yes, Buck?
Get into a pressure suit quickly.
Precious suit? What for?
I want you to hold back the water seepage with a hand-sized force ray while we take this mechanical mold to the other side of the cavern. We'll blast away an outlet tunnel.
Okay, Buck.
Hurry now.
Okay. Thank goodness the air is getting better in here with the door closed.
It's getting worse for the folks out there. Funny about that gas, though.
Here, Wilma. Let me help you put on the helmet of that pressure suit.
Thanks. Then I'll snap the clamps of it inside and turn on the midget radio equipment so we can talk.
Here it goes now, right over your head. Doc, will you turn on the radio so we can communicate with her?
Sure, Doctor. There you are.
Hear me now, Wilma?
Yes, Doctor. I'm going on out.
Here, Wilma. Don't forget this hand force ray.
Thanks, Buck.
Go ahead now, Wilma.
Right.
And stay there until we get back. That gas.
Okay, Buck.
Gas is awful. Yet
Well, I hope we can clear the atmosphere before it's too late for some of those people out there.
I've got my force ray on out here.
Good, Wilma. I can turn off the one here on the mole.
No, Buck.
Huh?
No, turn it up high and steer us to the other end of this cabin.
Right, sir. We're on our way.
Use all the power you can. We mustn't waste any time.
Yes, sir. Managing to hold back that water all right, Wilma?
Yes, Buck. It's terrible to see all these people lying around out here.
We're doing all we can to save them.
Well, hurry.
Can you see your way ahead all right, Buck?
Not very well, but well enough to get us to the other end of this huge cavern.
Well, turn on a bit of the thermic radiation projector to clear the metalloglass windows.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's it. Now, more power. Every minute we take to get over there lets the gas in this place get thicker.
We're going as fast as we can. Say, you know something, Doctor?
What, Buck?
That gas has something very funny about it.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I fail utterly to see anything funny about a gas that can do what this has done to the people of Ore. I only hope that whatever it is, it won't be fatal to all of them.
No, it's like something I've smelled before. Something familiar about it. I don't know what it is, but I can't seem to be as worried about it as I should be.
Buck,
Yes, Wilma?
this gas may be poisonous, as Garrett said. But to me, these people out here look just to be quietly asleep.
Well, keep that force ray holding the water back until we blast out some drainage tunnels. Then we'll ride back and pick you up.
Okay.
You hear that, Doctor?
Yes.
Complicates matters.
What do you mean?
Well, I've smelled that gas before. Maybe a long, long time ago, but somewhere.
Now, listen, Buck, this is
I know you think I'm crazy, sir, but there's something about it that just...
Stop us. We're at the end of the cabin.
Yes, sir. Now, about that gas.
Now, how can you prattle on that way when the lives of hundreds of people are at stake? Now, here's where we blast out a tunnel.
Right, sir. We can use a disintegrator.
Yes, quickly.
Right, sir.
Hurry, Buck, hurry.
Buck, Doctor,
Yes, Wilma?
I guess I didn't clamp on my helmet right.
What?
The gas is seeping into this pressure tube.
Wilma.
I'm going to
Wilma.
keel over.
Wilma!
Good night. Now Wilma's life is in peril. They can't go back to her until they've cleared a tunnel that may save hundreds, and yet, if they don't go back to her, well, now stand by and listen to a few words from your favorite announcer before we pick up our story again.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
And the shower of silver dollars from Popsicle Pete's Money Box. Together with Dr. Hewer and Wilma Deering, you know, Buck Rogers has just finished exploring an amazing city deep under the earth. Exploration made possible by Dr. Hewer's invention of a mechanical mole, a huge machine capable of burrowing its way through the ground. As we pick up our story now, we find them aboard the mechanical mole as it slowly but surely works its way back up toward the surface. Here we go, 500 years into the future.
All right, now, Buck, suppose you stop us again.
So soon, Doctor?
Yes, Buck.
Okay, whatever you say.
I want to check on the stratification of the ground we're going through.
To see if you can tell how near the surface we are, Doctor?
Yes, Wilma. Well, I can't do it while we're moving because of the glare from the heat ray in the nose of the machine.
If it weren't for the heat ray to melt the ground ahead of us, all the non-recoil energy in the world wouldn't move this machine.
Let me see now. I'll have to turn on the forward search beam again.
You know, Buck, I still can't get over the city we found down below.
Yes, sir. Gold and radium all over the place. As common to the people living down there as steel and impervium are to us.
Mighty fine people, too.
Well, my observations indicate that we've only a very short distance to go to reach the surface. So let's get underway again.
Surest thing you know. Anything to indicate whether we're on the same course we held on the way down?
I'm quite sure we are. Approximately, at least.
Oh, good. Then we won't need to worry about coming up under any buildings.
No, I'm quite certain we'll find ourselves on the landing field of the Niagara Municipal Spaceport, the place from which we started our underground exploration.
Good. Well, here we go. That's funny.
What's the matter, Buck?
I don't know, sir. We don't seem to be making any progress.
Something wrong with the mechanism of the mechanical mole?
No. Something seems to bar our way.
What?
Wait, I'll turn on the forward search beam again and see what's in front of us.
Well, Buck?
Come up to this metallo-glass window and look, will you?
Sure.
Hey, Buck.
See? The nose of our mole is smack bang up against a black, shiny surface of some kind.
Oh, yes. Wonder what it can be.
Looks like regular metal of some kind, doesn't it?
Yeah. Can't be anything very big, though, or we'd have run into it on the way down.
If we're on the same path we took before.
I'm sure we are, Wilma.
Now, wait a minute. Let's see if we can push it out of the way. Doggone it, we didn't budge.
Buck, that must be the impervium foundations of some big building that got buried in the ground during the Mongolian invasion years ago.
Oh, possibly.
The heat from the thermic radiation projector makes it glow like impervium, doesn't it?
No. There's a greenish tint in that glowing metal that impervium doesn't have.
Yeah.
I wonder how we're going to get around it, whatever it is.
You sure we can't push it out of the way?
I had full power on that last time. We didn't move an inch.
All right, then. The only thing to do is to radio to the surface for help.
The only question is what sort of help.
I know what we'd do.
What?
But we're not far from the surface, and we have a couple of atomic disintegrators.
One disintegrator. We gave the other to Gareth in the city of Ore.
Okay, one's enough. Hey, Wilma, give me a hand.
But what are you going to do with the pressure suit?
Disintegrate a hole up to the surface, and then crawl on out through it.
No, Buck, that may be very dangerous. We know we're near the surface, but we don't know how near.
Well, that's something I'll be able to tell you all about in a few minutes.
Suppose a cave-in should occur while you're blasting your way through the ground.
This pressure suit will protect me.
But if you lose the one disintegrator you have, if it gets knocked out of your hand...
Now, stop worrying, Doctor. Somehow we got to get back to the ground level. We know from past experience that there's no use trying to move the mole against an obstacle like that out there, so...
All right, but be very careful every step of the way.
Sure. What I'll do is blast my way around that barrier, whatever it is, and then head as nearly straight upward as possible. The inertron lifting unit in this uniform will keep me floating up. Then, as soon as I reach the surface, I'll take off this cast iron suit and commandeer a spaceship at the municipal spaceport.
Good. If our calculations are correct, it wouldn't be far from where you emerge.
And then what do you think you're going to do?
Well, a lot will depend on how deep this mechanical mole is lying. If only a few 100 feet, I'll swing a spaceship up into the air high enough to aim down a long-range disintegrator and blast away a big hole. Then we can float the mole up to the surface with gravity rays.
Well, you better wait until you get up there. We'll be in touch with you by radio all along, and then it'll be the time to decide what should be done.
Right, sir.
Buck, I'm not going to let you go.
Huh?
It's too dangerous.
Oh, now listen, Wilma.
There's no telling what you may run into between here and the surface.
Nothing more serious than a few straight of water sand, and this pressure uniform will protect me against any possible cave-in.
Buck.
We can't stay here underground forever. Here, now, help me get into this thing and fasten the helmet up.
Oh, sir, we can't stay here under the ground forever, Willie, so what I'm going to do is put on this spacesuit on and disintegrate my way back to the surface.
Well, I guess this machine we built for digging down into the ground isn't so good, is it, Mr. Barney?
Huh? What do you mean it ain't no good? Just on account of we got us stuck against something down here?
Well, I'll bet Dr. Ewer's machine is getting along all right.
Yeah, and this here now one's going to be all right, too. Why, I bet it's twice as big as Dr. Ewer's.
Well, that's just the trouble. It's so
Here,
big.
help me get onto this space helmet. And I'll be all organized out to disintegrate a big hole back to the surface.
No, sir, Mr. Barney. I'm not going to let you do it.
Huh? What are you talking about?
It's too dangerous.
Dangerous? For me? Like Barney?
Yes, sir. There's no telling what you may run into out in that ground out there.
Ain't nothing to run into except maybe a couple of layers of sandy water or watery sand or something or two.
What if the hole you disintegrate out should collapse all over you?
I won't let it. I'll use this here disintegrator with a broad beam focus.
Huh?
I mean a broad beam focus.
Oh, a broad beam focus.
Well, ain't that what I said? A broad beam... Well, that's what I'm going to use anyhow.
But what if you should run into some wild animals or something?
Wild animals?
Yes, sir.
What? There ain't no such thing as wild animals. They're running around in no solid ground. You know that, Willie?
Well...
And if I do run into it, why, I'll just blast them all to pieces with this here now disintegrator. Won't stop to ask no questions either. I'll just let them have it. Bing. I'll shoot first and ask questions afterwards.
Oh, all right. Only what about me? What if something should happen to you?
Don't you worry, Willie. No matter what happens, I'll see that you got took care of all right.
Okay, isn't there some way for us to get this big machine turned around so we can run it back up again?
No. What I'm going to do is the only thing we can do. I can't talk to you no more on account of I'm going to put on this helmet. So open up the big metal door for me so that I can go on out and start disintegrating.
All right, Mr. Barney. Only I hope you're awful careful out there, because if anything was to happen to you, I don't know what I'd do. There's the door open for you. Go ahead. I guess you can't hear me, but goodbye. And be careful. Boy, that disintegrator sure cuts into the ground, doesn't it?
Hey, that disintegrator certainly cuts into the ground out there, doesn't it, Doctor?
Yes, it does, Wilma. Seems strange to hear its sound coming to us by radio, though, through the transmitter in Buck's pressure suit.
Yes.
How's it going, Buck?
Fine, Doctor.
Good.
I'm not wasting any time trying to cut through the tough material that's blocking the mold, but just making a path around it and slightly upward.
Oh, that's right.
This hand disintegrator certainly does a good job, too. Look out through the forward metallo-glass window. By the light of it, you can see what kind of headway I'm making.
No use, Buck. The energy being released by the disintegration is in the form of heat, and all we can see is a heavy mist.
Well, at this rate, I ought to be up the surface in no time. Just like cutting through so much...
Yes?
Hey, this is funny.
What?
I've come into sort of a little cave here.
It's probably a place that was washed out by underground streams.
Yes, sir, that's what it is, all right. There isn't much of a ceiling to it, so I guess I'll...
Buck.
Wait.
What is it, Buck?
Doggone it, I wish I'd brought along a hand flash so I could see in here.
Why don't you come back and get one?
Listen, there's something else in this cave besides me, Wilma. And it's alive and moving around.
Then come back here to the mechanical mole. Buck.
No, sir. But when you hear my disintegrator, you'll know it's not just being fired into the ground.
Good night. When Buck sees what I think he does, I hope he doesn't fire that disintegrator. And Barney said that if he saw anything, he'd fire first and ask questions afterward. But now stand by for a few words from your favorite announcer.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
And the shower of silver dollars from Popsicle Pete's Money Box. Now, let's see now. Buck and Black Barney have finally managed to open the door of Barney's big underground machine. And there... But let's pick up our story exactly where we left off. Are you all set? Then here we go, 500 years into the future.
Willie!
Barney.
Captain, I know that I shouldn't leave the poor little tag all alone by himself down here under the ground. Willie!
He was in the control cabinet of your machine, wasn't he?
Sure he was. And now he's gone. Captain, what could have happened to him?
I don't know. Isn't there some other part of your groundhog where he might be? Sleeping quarters or something like that?
I looked at him and he ain't there. My Willie's gone, that's all. He's gone.
Now, Barney.
Somebody or something must have come in here and taken him. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you, but listen to me.
What do you mean, listen to you? My Willie's gone, ain't he?
Yes, I know, Barney, but no matter where he went, he couldn't have got very far in the few minutes since you left him here.
Just the same, he's gone. Now I don't know what I'm going to do.
Find him, of course. There's no way under the sun for him to have got very far away here underground.
Come on, Captain. Come on, we'll go out the same way I did when I disintegrated my way up to the cave, but me and you run into each other.
Okay, Barney, lead the way. Only watch your step.
Yeah, sure. Probably some big wild animal will come along and
take it easy, Barney. This is a pretty sharp climb, and we haven't got a neutron lifting units to help us along.
Who cares about anything like that? We gotta find it. We got Willie.
Well, here's the big open cave, Barney.
Yeah.
You see anything of him? I'm afraid I don't. Well, there's not very much light filtering in here from your control cabin.
If he got into this big cave, Captain, he would have got lost. He probably didn't see me anywhere around, so he kept on going and going. There's no telling where he might be now.
Not necessarily, Barney.
What do you mean, not necessarily?
Well, this cave isn't as big as all that, and there's only one way he could have gone out of it.
Sure. He might have fell into some big hole or bottomless pit or something.
No, Barney, no. The disintegrated shaft that leads down to our mechanical mold.
Huh?
Come on.
You think maybe he could have went down there to where Lieutenant Woman, Dr. Yours at, the same way I done?
That's it. Now, here's the shaft.
Yeah.
Only be careful, because it drops almost straight down, and it's nearly...
Barney! Come here!
Did you hurt yourself, Mr. Barney?
Yeah. I guess No, sir. No, sir. Willie, are you all right?
Well, sure I am. Only wanted to jump all the way down that long shaft.
On account of I couldn't wait to... Well, what do you think? On account of I must have slipped a little bit because it was so steep, that's why.
Oh, hello, Captain Rogers.
Hello there, Willie. Well, I'm glad to see you safe and sound.
Oh, sure I am.
Well, I bet you ain't twice as glad as I am, Captain. Not even half as glad. No, sir.
Still don't see what all the fuss is about. Willie was just sitting here talking to us.
I just got tired of waiting, that's all. And I wanted to make sure you were all right, Mr. Barney.
Did you?
Yes, sir. Then when I got out into sort of a cave up there, I saw a light coming up from that disintegrated away place. And I heard Lieutenant Wilmer talking with Dr. Ewer. So I thought the best thing to do was to come down here to them.
Oh, okay. As long as you was coming to Lieutenant Wilmer, it's all right.
The scamp. He heard us saying some nice things about him, too. But I guess they won't hurt him.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Well, you see, Lieutenant, the one thing I like about myself most is my being so modest. So I always tell Willie to be that way, too. Don't I, Willie?
Yes, sir.
Sure. And someday my little Willie's going to grow up to be the finest man that ever lived. Just like you, Captain Rogers, and Dr. Yore and Lieutenant Wilmer.
Well, the thing for us to do now is to get these two mechanical molds underway and headed for the surface. Suppose Barney and I go into the other machine.
Yes.
And leave you folks here to work the mold's non-recoil energy projector.
Well, you think we can exert enough power against the nose of Barney's machine to push it right on up and out of the hole it dug?
Yes, sir, now that the ground breaker's off.
Well, it's worth trying. But how are we going to know if it works out all right?
Well, we can keep in touch with each other by radio.
Fine.
Come on then, Barney.
Yeah, yes, sir. You know, Captain, that machine you folks are using isn't as big as mine and all that sort of stuff. But yours looks real nice and compact.
Well, we traveled a good many miles in it without any trouble.
And did you find anything?
Oh, plenty. But we can talk about that later, Barney.
Yeah.
Let's get into your control cabin.
Yeah, you go right ahead and sit in the control seat.
All right. You'll have to tell me how to work these various levers, though.
Yes, sir. Only wait a second till I close this door.
That makes enough noise for half a dozen metal doors.
Yeah, good and loud, like it was real strong, huh?
Well, yes. But now, how about these controls? All I can see on the board here are 3 levers.
Well, this here one's the power control.
Uh-huh.
This one you use for steering from side to side.
Yeah?
And this one makes the nose of the groundhog go up and down.
And that's all there is to it?
That's all.
Okay. Wait a second now while I turn on the radio unit.
Dr. Ewer, that I'll make a full report immediately.
Oh, what's that?
Splendid, Donald.
Oh, the Secretary to the President.
Of course, I've only given you a quick picture of all we've discovered, but I'm sure the President will want immediate action.
I'm sure he will. In any event, you will have Captain Rogers report to him in person as soon as you reach the surface.
Yes.
Huh?
Signing off.
Hey, wait a minute. Hello?
Hello, Buck?
Doctor?
I was just talking to Donald, the President's secretary.
So I heard.
I think it best that no time be lost in making official contact with the people we found living deep under the earth.
Oh, sure, but what was that about me reporting to the President?
I imagine it's just a case of giving him the complete story on this expedition.
Oh, well, now look, Doctor.
Yes?
It won't be necessary for you to make the mechanical mold push this machine of Barney's all the way back to the surface.
No?
No, sir. It'd be easy, but, well, sort of messy.
Well, what do you want to do then?
Well, push us upward a little bit, and we'll roll right into the big cave up here. Then we can turn and proceed under our own power.
Oh, fine. Well, are you all ready to move?
Anytime you are.
All right, then here we go. Everything all right?
Yeah, we're moving straight backward.
Good. I'll use a little more power here.
Okay. Whoa, Doctor, whoa.
Yes, Buck?
We've rolled into the open space, and it feels as though we've turned completely around.
I can see you have through our metallo glass window.
So all we need to do is head upward. You folks can follow us or make your own path, whichever's fastest.
Oh, following us up will be the fastest. We really got power in this here groundhog.
Well, we'll see. Incidentally, Buck.
Yes?
Donald is having a rocket roadster made ready for us to take us to the President.
Good. Well, let's get going.
Go ahead.
Hang on now, Barney. Going to turn on the power.
Sure.
This machine makes more noise than a boiler factory.
Yeah. Sounds powerful, don't it?
Very kind of you to meet us at the spaceport with this rocket roadster, Donald.
Well, it was on the President's instructions, Dr. Hewer, to ensure you're not being held up by the crowds that were there to greet you.
There was quite a crowd there, wasn't there?
Yes. Say, I can't get over how quiet this rocket roadster seems after that groundhog of Barney's.
Is it as bad as all that, Bud?
Boy, you never heard anything like it. But Barney says it makes it sound powerful, and that's all he cares about.
Yeah, it seems almost strange to be up on the surface again, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of good. Much as I like the president, though, the kind of a meeting we're going to always embarrasses me.
Why, Bud?
Well, you know what it means. Wonderful expedition, great discoveries, marvelous scientific achievement.
Oh.
Why you should want Wilma and me around is more than I can see.
Right, Doctor. Any credit belongs entirely to you.
Well, if I may say so, I believe the President has a great deal more than just that on his mind.
Really? What?
Oh, he'll want to tell you himself. Now, there's his private landing platform just ahead of us. Hang on, please. We're landing. Now, right this way, please.
Shoot, Wilma.
Thanks.
Doctor?
Thank you.
We'll enter his private office through that door over... Oh, Mr. President.
Welcome. Welcome, all of you.
Well, Mr. President.
And congratulations on what I believe is the greatest scientific accomplishment of our age.
Thank you, Mr. President.
There's so much to say in commendation for your amazing feat that I won't even attempt it. Suffice it to say that arrangements for establishing social and commercial relationships with the people of your underground city are being made now.
Splendid.
I only hope that we may have a hand in it, sir.
Rogers, you may not.
What?
Now, don't look so unhappy, my boy. I have another assignment for you. That is, if you're willing to take it.
Why, sure. Of course I am, sir.
And don't speak too quickly, Rogers, because if you do accept it, it will be the most dangerous assignment you've ever attempted.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm willing to bet that Buck takes that assignment whatever it is. So don't miss the next episode.
You've been listening to the GSMC Classics series, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Follow us at www.gsmcpodcast.com and find all of our timeless programming by typing GSMC Classics into any podcast app, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and more. Remember to subscribe to the GSMC Classics series podcasts of your choice to stay up to date on new episodes. And if you could take a minute to give us a nice review, that really helps us to get this ageless programming out to others who would enjoy it just as much as you have. Check out all of our GSMC Classics series podcasts. Whether you're in the mood for comedy, romance, adventure, history, science fiction, horror, or anything in between, the GSMC Classics series has you covered. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program on the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network.